Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So this week I'm doubling up on a couple of the things, and I did get your comments on moving the Halloween to September, and that's what we're going to do because it is just going to be a lot more fun. I think more people can participate, and then I won't have there's weeks that I'm not even doing videos in August. So it's one of those dog days of summer, right? August. And we're rolling up to that. I am filming and I am like sweating to death because I had the iron on to do some things, and so I'm like, dying. But here we are. Let's first look at the socialites. So we have 2 new blocks that came out. Of course, they came out on Friday on the Fat Quarter Shop. This is a free quilt along, and I'm using Rosie by my friend Joanna Figueroa of Fig Tree. This is one of the ones I was thinking I might switch out the green, but then I realized it's a flower. So instead, what I'm going to do, let me just hold up this picture. This is easier. So there's the flower here. And then you can see right above it is that other flower. So this is the beauty of not having set things yet. I can shuffle things. So I am going to shuffle these 2 blocks. So I will put this one over here. That way that weighted green of a flower is across the quilt, not in a vertical. You don't just sort of have this heavy line over there. So I'll move this over here, and I'm thinking, which one is it? I have to see it. I think this one I am still going to take the green and switch that green on the outer. I'm going to switch that out. So what I'm probably just going to do is just remove those 2 sides and make those blocks and put them back. And those can just go in the part center, those pieces on the side. And I think that's all I'll do besides these settings. So you can see the settings here. There's 4 of them that have green, so just 4 of them I will remake. I'll probably just unpick that and replace that block. That'll be pretty quick. Okay, so that's where I am with the socialites, which I think is pretty darn nifty. I think it's going to work out really, really well. So the other stuff I have today, because we're still in overload mode, is I've got the Christmas in July, and I cannot remember if I showed you the fabric I'm using, so I'll do a quick look at that. I also have the Jubilee row number 3, and then I have a product that my physical therapist recommended, and Bob and Brad had that product, so they said they would send me one, and I'm going to show you that so that you could see what I'm using, and maybe that might be helpful to you. All right, so let me get the Jubilee. For the Jubilee, we are doing the 3rd row. So I'm going to try to hold it up here, and I've got all 3 rows. You can see that having it, well, can you see it? It's pretty long. So even if you did just a square, that would be a pretty decent size quilt. But of course the 4th row gives you that nice length that a lot of us want to have on our quilts. And we're using So Charmed, which you can get a kit at the Fat Quarter Shop. Kendall did a video on making 1 block, and it's over at his website. He also did just 9 blocks for a finished quilt, and it is spectacular. His is really spectacular. So you want to go and check that out. Now behind me is it's the very first March block a day. You know, when COVID came, I was like, all right, let's try to do something in March, which is when it started, being aware that we were all aware there was an issue, a pandemic occurring and happening. So I wanted to do a project to kind of keep us busy because nobody understood or knew what was going to happen. So I thought this would be good. So every day in March we made 1 block and then did this setting, and it still has a lot of favorite things for me, including, let me flip it to the back here, including the backing is the first line I did with Benertex, which was Bonnie Lane, and was a tribute to my mom. I'd never named a line for my mom, so I thought I would do that. All right, let's let's look close. I'm going to show you the blocks. I want to show you up close because it's just a lot more fun. So I have fabrics that I adored. That's what I did for this whole quilt along. I think I may have picked this border later. I had saved it for a long time and it worked perfectly with this and this. This was one of my earlier fabric lines, the Bonnie Lane, named from my mom. So it's basically an easy square block, square and a square, because I'm not making you have a pointy point here. So it's very, very forgiving. Plus they don't match, so there's no matching across. Got the sashing. It's a wide sashing. So it's all different fabrics that I totally adore. This one's from Australia, from my friend Jane. And a coffee, mushrooms, horses. You know, it's just fun. Telephones, yeah. This is a really favorite line of mine that's very, very old, and I've used it in a bunch of different places. The beautiful swans. I have some cross stitch with a swan that I want to do. And it's just lots of memories. This also is a very, very old, and that was just favorites of everything. This is a year 2000 fabric line. Those of you who collected year 2000, you will remember that. And one that looks like cross stitch, live the life you love the life you live, and the mermaids. That is a free pattern that you can just go out to Pat Sloan Quilts to the project page and get it. My project page has everything available on it, you know, due to the fact that in 2025 I had a dumpster fire of a year, which just everything went wrong and haywire. And one of them was that the company that I had been with forever was closing down, where my website was. I had 4 weeks notice. I was at the hospital with my mom, so it was just a nightmare. But we got a lot of it moved over, found a wonderful person to help me out. One of our community had used them, so that was great. But not everything came over. So if you're looking for something, just go there. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, then just consider it discontinued. Okay, that's how that all works now. Let me show you let me show you this tool that my physical therapist is using to help my back. It's basically to work the muscles, and their massage tool. So there it is from Bob and Brad. That is what they look like. This is one of the ones that the massage therapist uses, and she told me that it is one that is great for you to use at home. She has other ones that she said are not really that great for at home. It's better for her to do them, you know, a physical therapist or a massagist to do it. So let me show you what it looks like. And because I'm there, she has showed me, you know, how to use it. So I know how to properly use it. This is the unit, and these pieces pop on and off. Oh, they screw out. There we go, they screw out. And I am using this one on my, there you can see it, on my lower back. Let me put it on the table, there we go. I'm using this round ball on my lower back and on my thighs. And she showed me exactly how to do that. It has a lot of settings, and I use it on the lowest setting. Hold on one second there. Okay, so I use it on the lowest setting, and hold it a second, and that is it. And she showed me how hard to do this, you know, not hard, but how lightly to do it. There are many other settings that are much faster. And so if you are very much into exercise and already know how to handle these things, you can get a much higher speed. Then there's a bunch of other tools that are on here. And some of them have heat. This one has heat on it as well, but you need to understand how to use them. And there's videos at the Bob and Brad website. Plus, I'll link you to a discount for this from at Amazon. And then there's a link there on that page as well. Plus links from some other people who have use them. There's a physical therapist, I think he's from Australia, named Will, and he reviewed it. It gets very, very high reviews. It's very easy to use for yourself. And I'm reaching to a lower back, and I do that laying down. So it has been helpful to me, and that in addition to the back one that I showed you a while ago are the two that I use on my back now, and it has made vast improvements. So I'm very happy to show it to you, and if you are interested in one of these, the link is in the description box, and I'll have a link to Bob and Brad things on my shopping page. Okay, you know, that's probably the last tool that I'll have. I'm not sure of anything else that I can use from them, but I wanted to show you things that have helped me. And Christmas in July, there were 2 blocks. Now we have 3 blocks of trees, and I think that is a fabulous theme for this Christmas in July, are the trees. Beautiful, beautiful pink and reds and greens. This sort of lighter tone, clearer tone is what I'm drawn to now. The kit that the Fat Quarter Shop had is done with the warm, cozy tones, you know, more muted greens and reds, no pink. I don't know if I showed you this fabric before, but I'll show you quick again because I think it's so darling. There's a little gingerbread print in here that is, you know, just delightful. It would be super cute in anything. So you've got the beautiful poinsettias and white on white. So I know a lot of you love white on white with snowflakes. And here are bells and doves. The plaids are great, and I am very partial to this holly type image, and it's in a couple of colors. Let me show you pin dots. And then here are the gingerbread and the pudding and the candy canes. I love candy canes and holly. And this comes in several colorways. So there's some more plaids. Now here's a pink and red, just 2 colors of that print. The green, these are just so awesome. I love, 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 love that holly. More dots. There's the snowflakes and colors. And here they are on white. Could you see little stockings, placemats, pillows, just really cute things. And then if you like the lighter greens, this is a beautiful poinsettia print on the light green, and then the light green. So I'll just show you what else they got. And then down to red. I think the red set is the last set. The pin dots. Look at this, the red and white with just a little bit of pink. See, just a little bit of pink. And the plaid. And snowflakes. Is that it? No, there goes the gingerbreads. Ta-da! Yeah. I think it's a super darling line. And I hope you're making the trees and sewing along on that. It is, I don't know, they're just so cute. Okay, one last thing. There's one other kit that we'll be doing a sew along with from my latest fabric line, and that is this silver lining pattern by my friend Wendy Shepherd. It is so, so cute. The little letters and the little rain clouds. Little rain clouds just get me. They're darling. They're so darling. And there is a kit for this with my fabric. So and you can also just buy the pattern. It's one that I think you could do a little banner, you could do a little table runner, you could do a 4-block pillow. There's ways to do that and join in the quilt along. We'll do the fall in September. And so this will probably also be maybe later in September, just to kind of give a little break so I don't have a pile of things, because Socialites has to finish out. So maybe like mid-September to start that. We'll do the free one and this one in September, which will pretty much round out everything by probably the middle of October or end of October at the latest, that we have going on and scheduled. And then I can sort of do a clean sweep and see what I want to work on. So, all right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.